One. Hi, welcome to BeHIP Discussion Roundtable. We are so excited. We are so excited to get this week kicked off. Sorry about that. As you can see, we are very informal. Anyway, we have a new guest with us this week, Nicole, my fabulous sister, who have been in the comments some weeks and some weeks not. Also, we got my co-host Randy next to her, of course. He'll get better than the game. And Angie, you know, she holding it down again. This week's topic, we are talking about abuse. So we're talking about all angles of abuse, from verbal to sexual abuse, physical abuse, child abuse. Because child abuse can play into a mold who the person you are sometimes as you coming into an adult. So how y'all feeling tonight?
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Real good.
Feeling real good. Anybody experience abuse on the couch?
Mm-hmm.
Some, not many.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this topic means a lot to me because I have a few friends that have went through physical abuse and verbal abuse blended together. I will tell you shortly about one of my close friends who have went through it as we get more into the dialogue. But first, the first quick question is, what do y'all feel about, do you think verbal abuse is just as detrimental as physical abuse?
Yes.
Yes.
You do. So the saying, sticks and stones to break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's really
not a really good thing.
That's not a really good thing. Have any of you ever experienced verbal abuse, like in a relationship or in your family, ever in life?
Yes.
I haven't. No, you haven't.
No one ever called you stupid. No. I understand what verbal abuse means. Okay.
So for some, let's break it down a little bit. Verbal abuse can be anywhere from somebody calling you ugly, someone saying you stupid, someone saying you can't do something, someone curse. Anything that's a curse, that's something negative, that spoke words out of somebody else's mouth towards you that caused you to have a second question, second thought about your personality or who you are as a person. That's verbal abuse. So let's try this question again.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever experienced verbal abuse?
Yes.
Okay, first I want to say I understood the question. I just forgot that I did experience somebody calming me down. But I
right. No, I wasn't. And it wasn't a shot at you. I just wanted to clarify it because some people could be watching and they don't know and they might feel like, you know,
Exactly.
I never have verbal abuse. We do know that verbal abuse definitely can be just as detrimental as physical because it makes you question who you are. It damages your self-esteem. It damages your confidence. Which hinders you from excelling in life, period. Nicole, so your experience with verbal abuse, like, do you think it really stuck with you or damaged you?
It did. Growing up, when you have a person, I'm gonna put the person out there.
Okay.
Calling you dumb, stupid, you're not gonna be anything, you know, treating you different than your siblings, you know, that'll affect you, you know, when you get older. You know, you start thinking that stuff, as long as that stuff sits on you, it grows.
Right. That's true. What about you, Randy?
I don't want to go far. I think it's probably like different levels, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I did have, in some shape or form way, you know, maybe some type of verbal abuse, maybe more so mental.
Right.
Mental abuse. So,
right.
You know, it's just, you try to, I guess I know, like, for me, myself, I kind of just internalized it a lot.
Right.
You know, so just didn't let it come out in the open and I let it build up, which is a horrible way to do it.
Yeah, it is. It really is. What about you, Angie?
Well, I mentioned mine a couple of weeks ago about how when I was little, and a friend of a family that's kind of more like family called me when I was playing baseball, and he was just like, you know, your funny looking stuff home because I messed up in the game.
It's not funny. It wasn't funny then.
It's not funny. But at the time, though, when I was a little girl, I thought I was ugly. I thought he thought I was ugly.
Right.
So it went into my high school years of all the way up to high school where I actually thought I was ugly.
Right.
Absolutely. It really never works.
I know, but I really did think.
But it makes her,
I know.
Like,
I was saying.
Like think that, which is crazy. Hey, for you. what do y'all think about like when people play sports and they coach get irate and they might call them stupid or call them out their name or have certain names that they call them by when they're messing up? Like how do you feel about that? Do you think that's still just as detrimental?
Yeah.
Of verbal abuse?
Yeah.
Okay. Also speaking of verbal abuse, sometimes, like you said, as a kid, when you're growing up, it sticks with you for a long time. So how was you able to like let that go or outgrow it? Because you said you thought she was ugly for a long time.
Yeah, a long time. I don't know. I started to change a little bit because I guess more people start calling me like, oh, like you're pretty. And I'm thinking like, I'm not pretty. What do you mean you're pretty? And I used to stare myself in the mirror and be like, I don't think I'm pretty. And I'll try to pick apart. And then one day, I really don't know. One day I looked in the mirror. I said, well, I'm not ugly, And then, but I really don't. I think it was just God. At the time, I wasn't really into church like that. We was kids.
Yeah.
But I do believe at some point God was still working somewhere in there because just one day I just started not thinking I was unattractive anymore. And I think maybe it helped that more people started giving me compliments. And when at first I was like, what are you doing? They're just trying to be nice. Like, no. But the more I heard it, it must have helped me start looking at myself differently and say, well, what do they see? And now I look at myself in the mirror more and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not ugly, So that's what helped me. And then I think it was the incident in middle school probably started helping a little bit was when I told you about how the little boys go around kissing all the cute girls in the classroom. And they kissed, and one of the guys kissed me on the face, and I got mad at first, right?
Right.
So I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, we got to go around kissing all the cute girls. I was like, I'm one of the cute girls? So that made me look like, oh, okay. Yeah.
So it was more so the positive reinforcement.
Yep.
Said to you.
From other people.
From a lot more other people.
Yeah.
Than just that one person. Yeah. That's cool. What about you, Nicole? Like, how did you, what you able to, like, get past the
name calling? Yeah. I mean, the older I get, I did,
right.
Not younger. You believe things when adults say it. When adults say you believe it. Which kids really shouldn't believe things. Adults say anything negative, don't believe it. Negativity, don't take it. But, growing up, just kids are very open. So when someone says something to you and puts you down, it sticks for a minute. So you have to basically just about growing and figuring out who you are for yourself, what you can do. And you just realize the person that was doing it was just ignorant. Right. They were the ignorant ones, not you. So
right.
It was a struggle. It wasn't just easy like that. I'm gonna say, just have me done. You have a lot of stuff I had to do. I had to act out a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because of what I was dealing with. So it wasn't just easy, just over, done. It was a growth.
Right. Right. So, Randy, you said you like to internalize it, and I'm the same way. Like if somebody do something to me, like I don't, I'm very internal too.
Yeah.
So do you think that really, did you have an explosive at the end, like when you got to like your breaking point with, or have you ever got to a breaking point where it was just like?
Yeah, you get to, I felt like when I was, internalizing it, like you brought up a good point about sports.
Yeah.
Especially, depending on what you did. I've been on both sides. I've been the player and the coach. So when going through it, you used to, coaches, calling you all type of names. You mess up the play, stupid, MF, you're supposed to, catch the ball. You're idiot. You're supposed to do these things. I didn't really experience a lot of that. I experienced more of that coming like from my home, like my father, who was really competitive, and the things we did. My father was like really stern and strict. So when he said things, it internalized because it's my father.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, Dad, I understand what, not really that you understand what you're trying to say, but you get like, okay, let me just put it on. He just, he's saying what he want to say because he's trying to get me to get at the best level. But then when I realized that it wasn't that, you started to see that the more I soaked it in, I had hatred. I understand I was, putting together some hatred towards him a little bit. So it got to the point where it exploded out. And where it'd be arguments like, what? Okay, well, if you did this, then I'm gonna be 10 times better than you in this. Exactly. So that's gonna be like my motivation. So And I think that it just kind of depends on people. You know, like I said, for myself, when it came out bad. It came out exploding, and I didn't care who was there. It's like, if you there, it's you in the firing range. So it's like where someone else might be trying to say something to me about it or bring it up. Like, he'll bring up a point like, man, you gotta bring, you gotta get that relationship together with your father. And then when they say that, it's like, it's almost like I see red after that. Right. And I went right at him, like, shut the, you don't know what you talking about. Like, right. Everybody that was there. So that was my mechanism.
Right.
I just went firing squad, until somebody, okay, man, we gonna stop talking about it.
Yeah, right. and everybody, everybody got their own thing. And a lot of times verbal abuse in homes or in relationships, the abuse when it escalates to physical abuse and when it escalates to child abuse, a lot of times it starts with verbal abuse. That's like the beginning stage of either it's going to escalate to physical or it's going to stay verbal and still be just as detrimental. So moving on to physical abuse and sexual abuse. So in one of our discussions that we did, Randy, we were talking about if your mate do not want to have sex, whether if you're married, is it rape if you take it? Because some people on that panel in their mind felt like, no, if we're married, I'm not raping you. Like I'm taking it because you're my wife and
Mac Reese.
No. Mac Reese. But it was another gentleman. Everybody else on the couch was looking like, no, I think that definitely is rape. So if you're tuned in, I'm interested to know, do you consider that rape if you are married to your mates and she says, I'm tired, I don't want to have sex, but you decide I'm still going to go have, like, is that rape? Do y'all think that?
I think it depends. Like, is she adamantly saying no, like seriously saying no?
Okay, so the question is, okay, so let's clarify this. Does it matter how she says no?
I think it does. If you marry, it matters. Because then she end up giving in and y'all end up having sex together. Okay. So I'm saying, so unless she's adamantly saying no and she's trying to fight you off because she's saying no, married or not, that's right.
Yeah.
So Foya said, she said, rape is rape. You can't take anything from me that belongs to me. So on the basis of, okay, so you said it depends on how I say no or say no. So let's say she said no, like no, I don't want it, right? And you still take it, you think, oh, that's the no, she ain't being intimate. And then y'all get into it, and she like, but you raped me yesterday, or you raped me last week. Would that hold up in court as rape?
You know what? I changed my answer because before you said it makes sense. If the wife, I understand they say if you married, you should always have sex with your spouse, fight both spouses together. Right. But if a person says they're not in the mood and they're saying no, and you take it anyway, it's against their will, and they actually said the word no, not tonight, then yeah, it's rape. Now I think like I don't know if you in the bed together and you try to convince them to change their mind and change it to a yes. But if they just never change their mind and you just take it, yeah, I agree, it's rape.
Yeah, I could. Wow. I think because I think what I think people trying to think we're trying to say is that like no, because Keith
put his name out there.
Book did have an ear because it is. I'm sorry, it is that no, but after that no, it's a willingness. It's like
right. Like y'all saying y'all both mind. Right, that's what I'm saying.
So it's like that clue. So I think that. Like you said, like she's like, get off of me and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's rape. I mean, if somebody say no,
if she don't change her mind, if she don't change her mind.
Unless you're mad at the person, usually like people like they probably be like, no, I ain't in the mood, no. But if your husband or your wife, because men can say no too.
Yeah.
So if your wife,
yes,
just keeps on, and then you give in, even though you said no, I don't feel like that's right. I mean, like I say, it got to be something.
But I'm saying, unless she change her, I'm saying, unless the person change their mind, because you convince them to change their mind. But if they still say absolutely not, like no, not tonight, I'm just not in the mood, and they take it anyway.
Okay, so here's the question. So Why do you think that society, because I purposely put this in my caption every time I post this video, feels like or find it funny when a man say a woman raped him?
I hate that's actually my pet
It's a
peeve.
stereotype.
Because they can get drug raped, and just like a female can.
Yeah.
But they ain't gonna admit it.
No, they're
Right,
not
they're
gonna admit it because they'll get laughed out, and the police
Right.
won't take that seriously. That's why, and I don't think that's right. I feel like just like a woman can say no, this is what I hate about society. Just because it's a woman and she say no, it's rape, it's no, blah, 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 it's taboo, you shouldn't have did it. But if a man say no and the woman drug him and take from him anyway, he still raped and he still feel violent because he did not want to have sex with her. So it's the same thing for a man as it is for the woman. I think both should be taken seriously. If a woman rapes a man, go to jail just like a man would.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I agree with that.
I definitely agree with that. You agree with that too, Nicole?
Oh yeah.
So do y'all think that they think that way because they feel like of a man's strength?
Yeah.
Because you put them in a category. Here's the crazy thing.
If a woman raped me,
Would you tell?
younger, no.
You would tell somebody.
Now, probably, yeah.
Because
And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why.
Right.
Because if I don't say nothing, or she think I'm gonna say something, she gonna try to reverse it on me
Exactly.
and say I raped her.
Yeah.
So I think when I was younger, because what's the name of the movie? Antoine Fisher, and she was molesting him up there in the room and everything else like that, and he held that in for so long, and like you said, almost came out when she saw her. Because I know guys that's happened to.
Right.
You know, so like when you have them teachers having sex with these young boys, you know, you're like, oh, what's going on? Dang, she having sex with him. And, you know, I even jokingly was like, oh, man, he getting over, man. I don't know if my teacher, I had a teacher that never did that. But not knowing, like, man, like, she kind of warping this kid out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you like a 35-year-old woman and you got a 15-year-old boy.
Right. And here's the Clay had a question. So I'm asking the question first before I make my comment. She said, how do your lower parts get hard enough for me to take it, as far as a man goes?
Well, for young boys, libidos is like off the hinges. I know that everybody, you know, some guys get erected looking at a wall. And if you get stimulated, for a man, you just get stimulated. You don't even know why you're getting stimulated. So I've seen it happen before. That was my answer to that before. Like, man, you got to want to do it. I'm like, no, there's times where you get an erection and you don't know why. I'm like, I'm right, you know what I'm saying? Not for no reason. So, I mean, it's possible and it has happened. So that's how I would say it. I mean, but that's the standard.
Right.
It's like, because he a guy, that's the way this stuff got to happen.
Right.
Shoot, they could, I mean, who's to say that it's just the woman? Well, it was a man that's raping another boy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so it's stuff like that happen. But, you know, I think that, you know, it should be the same standard. I just think that society got so many of these, you know what I'm saying? You know, you understand it's like, you could do this, you know, if he do this, it's right. Like, if it was a male teacher with a female student, it's looked at more outlandish, like, oh, that's rape, he molested her, stuff like that. But if it's a boy, let's say he's like almost like borderline, you know, 17, and a teacher, more men, and this, you know, I say it too, you be like, it's almost like they want to give him a pound for that. Oh, yeah, you got a teacher and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, so not knowing that not only is he getting molested, but he also getting mentally, you know what I'm saying, abused too, because he ain't old enough to understand all the things that's going on with this. So
I think society, they have too many gray areas. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be gray areas, right or wrong. No matter who's doing it, no matter if it's a male or female, what position you're in, right or wrong. If it falls on the category it's wrong, then they all get the same justified punishment. Stop trying to make a difference between a woman and a man. Wrong is wrong, right is right.
Right. So, okay, so moving on a little bit more into abuse, because we had an interesting question, I think, last week, I think it was, where we were discussing, no matter what, a man should not hit a woman.
Yeah, I remember that conversation.
So, my question is, so is it okay for a woman to beat on a man? Because a man can be a victim of physical abuse. So is that okay? Like, why is it more so? It's like you have all these like organizations and everything like that that's like for women.
Yeah.
You know, abuse for women, this is that, the other. But there are men who is going through abuse, and I'm not even like how can he be going through abuse like over a woman? But everybody is framed. A man is like, you know what I'm saying, put up there as he can't hit a woman. So if he's not hitting a woman back, and he's like, you know what I'm saying, she verbal abuse, physical abuse. I wonder, you notice that it's not that many organizations that's like stop abuse for men. Abuse for men. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So how do y'all feel about when y'all hear, no matter what, a man should not hit a woman?
This is how I feel about it. Now, if you're a woman, first of all, a woman should be hitting a man, should not be hitting a man, because a man is more stronger than a woman. And then as soon as he hits you or slap you down, then it's, oh my God, he hit me, he hit me. I didn't see it done. I done been out with a friend, and she slapped a guy she was talking to dead in his face, was just talking to a female like they was, and then when he slapped her back, then she wanted to cry. Oh, he hit me, but I'm looking at her like, you just want to hit this man in his face. Like, in front of everybody, in front of his friends, and you ain't want no little slap. I mean, she slapped the fire out of him. And his reaction was, I'm going to slap the fire right back out of you. I mean, I didn't feel like he was wrong. I didn't feel like he was wrong, because if somebody was coming to hit me in my face, my reaction was going to be hit them back in their face. It's a reaction.
Just like what Lori just said. She said, I'm sorry. I don't feel that way. I was always taught, if you hit someone, be prepared to be hit back.
Yep, I agree.
And see, my thing, I have two sons. And like I told my sons, I have two sons. You know, I'm a phone call away, because ain't nobody going to be hitting on my sons. I mean, if I'm teaching my sons not to hit on women and to respect women, then I want the same respect to go for my sons.
Absolutely.
You're not going to be out here hitting on my sons. You know, that's not going to
And it's so crazy, because, like, you see on a lot of movies, and I'm sure it happens in real life, too, where a woman be messing a dude up, and they get that one good hit straight to the eye, straight to the face, where it, you know what I'm saying, where they black out for a second, and they could do like a backward slap. Then it's like, oh my God, you hit me. Like, I find that so crazy that you don't be victim now.
No, so you want to be the victim. Oh, I'm a girl. You hit me. I'm a girl. That's what hit me. Hello. If you got enough balls to hit a man, then you're going to get hit back, okay? You don't want to get hit back, don't hit the man. Just like you don't want him hitting you, you don't hit the man.
It's just like a man, and some men, they don't be quick to hit. Some men still, like, push you off. Yeah. Push you off, and the female, I didn't see the female, even when the man is pushing her off, she's throwing blows. She's steady trying to hit him because he's pushing you, because he don't want to hurt you. You figure you got the upper hand, and you want to attack this man. Then you're going to hit him, like you say, you're going to one good time. But at first, it's sound like, no, go. They'll push you down first, you know.
Try to restrain you.
They don't mean someone don't be quick to hit. They try to stop you. And they let you get away with a lot of stuff. And you women sometimes just don't stop.
And that's what, I remember I told you on your show, that's what they count on. They count on the fact that, especially if it's a good man, I know he not going to hit me. So they think it's okay for them just, I went 10 on him. He do that. I'm going to punch him in the face. And then you do it because you know he's not going to hit you back. But I bet you won't do it to a man you know that's going to try to kill you. I bet you're not going to be so quick to lay hands.
And that's like antagonizing.
Some of them do, but some of them not.
That's a good one.
That's like antagonizing a guy to, I know, because in law they say you should not hit me, so I'm going to do right. I got the upper hand. I can do this to you and do that to you. You know what I'm saying? And which is ultimately not cool. And like Lori said, she said, it's human reflex to protect yourself. Don't let your anger get the best of you. Check your ass. Don't let your ass catch a check.
Yeah. Okay. And I just want to say that I am totally against violence. I don't think the man should hit the woman should hit the man. But all I'm saying is it should be fair across the board. If you're going to hit the man, either you be ready to get hit back, because if you hit him first, or go to jail. You know,
I could say, not say too much, but in an open honest discussion, because being in that situation at one time, I understand, when people say something like, I'm never going to do that. Yeah. That's the worst saying in the world. Yeah. You never know what you're going to do until you get in the situation. And I had it where, because I'm one of the ones, I'm like, I'm a walk away. I'm like, I ain't about to sit here argue. I'm going to walk away with you. And I remember, she being punched, kicked, knife upside, throat, and all this other stuff. And I remember, like thinking to myself and then reacting to it when it got to the point where it's like, oh man, now you trying to kill me. Now I got to do something. And just remembering the reaction and how things was different. And at first thinking about all the times I said, man, like, man, you a punk, man. You don't put no hands on a woman. You don't do that to no woman. You can do all this other stuff. You can walk away. But I've been where I'm driving away, literally driving away. Like, I'm not fighting. I'm not arguing. And the woman come behind me and almost like hit me with her car to try to stop me. It's like, I'm trying to get away from you. I'm trying to stop this conversation. It's like, now, if I had been any other type of guy that would have pulled over, like, okay, I see you lost your mind now. And I just feel like you said, I agree with you when you said a double standard, because then you got these guys, and I'm not condoning, like you said, no violence whatsoever. I believe men need not put their hand on women, and women need not to put their hands on men, because y'all not each other's kids. Y'all supposed to be adults. And I feel like if you get to the point where you want to put hands on somebody, you know, the person that you with, man, y'all need to like go all the way or something like that. Because now, don't get me wrong, it's sometimes we ain't talking about like if a guy know like he did something wrong, because it's a difference when the argument, when like let's say like, oh, you know, I'm sorry, baby, I meant to do that, and she doing like he's low, you know, how could you do that to me? You know, I ain't talking about them things because you might know that you have that coming. Like, baby, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. We talking about when you get to a point where y'all can't discuss something, you know, like without to adults, you know what I'm saying, without you getting mad at one of the books. Like, you know, I find it weird if a woman ever said, I'm about to put hands on him, or a man say, I'm about to put hands on her. And I'm like, this ain't fighting. I thought y'all supposed to be together. You know? So, I don't know, teach his own, because some people think that's a healthy relationship.
They like that. I was just
they do.
And I've seen it.
Like, they get off of it.
I think those who think that is probably grew up in a household like that and think it's part of the norm, think that's love, and you know.
And that goes to our next one. We're gonna come back to abuse, but saying that thing, like when we say, like when men are beating women, you know, obviously a lot of times it's something within them, or they either got anger issues, or it's something in them that, you know, they gotta have control of the situation. They're controlling. They got, or sometimes a chemical imbalance, whatever the case may be. Some people grow up in an abusive household. You know what I'm saying? And when that's what they see, then that's all I know. I watched the movie, The Shack. I don't know if anybody see it. It's a really good movie to watch. And when was watching the movie The Shack, and in that movie, it went from him and his mom being abused by his father. But when God showed him a little boy getting beat, he was like, do you think that he should be held accountable for what, you know, for whatever what he did? He was like, no, like, because he's a little boy. And he was like, well, that was your father. So basically his father went through that. So sometimes what you go through, so sometimes I go back and forth. I feel like a man shouldn't be beating on a woman. And I'm not saying a man is a victim as out of pity, but for some who grew up in an abusive household, a lot of times that's what they end up being. You know, they a victim who end up becoming an abuser, creating another victim. How do y'all feel about that? Like growing up, like
I think that's a cop out.
Okay.
I think it's a cop out. I think that in life, you got, you know, the wonderful thing that God gave us is free will. I think that you got a choice to whether you want to be. You know what I'm saying? When you seen, like, I've seen women get hit, you know what I'm saying? Some of my family seen abuse that go on, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be, you know, extended family, you know, and all this other nature. That didn't make me want to go out and say, now I'm going to hit women. It had the reverse effect that I ain't going to never be this type of dude. Like, I don't want to, you know, have and be this type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my daughter to see that type of guy. You know, I feel like people always, it's nice and dandy to say, man, I did this because I was this. Well, what about the other some odd people that don't do it? You know what I'm saying? It's women that's been, you know, like what they say, like some women turn, you know, like, you know, go out, be real loose because they got raped and stuff of that nature. I'm like, okay, but what about the women who didn't become loose, who actually got healed? They made a choice to say, I'm not going to be bitter. I'm going to move on. I'm going to be stronger, you know, and things of that nature. I know all that stuff come in time, but I don't like people always using the same, you know, like, stop. Your past should not be your excuse for why you know, who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to let someone like, oh, because I was broke, I stayed broke, and I did everything else. That's a lie. You come in, you make a choice, and you say what you want to do with your life. If you see your mother being abused and anything, for me, it should make a young boy say, I'm going to do everything in my life to protect my mother and never allow any woman I'm with to experience that. That's how I would feel it. You know, I don't want to say somebody say, well, because he did it. I thought it was right. I think that's kind of a, you know, does it happen? Yes. But I think it's a weak-mannered excuse for someone to say that.
I think that, I mean, I can see that, like, okay, so Lori said it's learned behavior. But the reason why I think that people take different, perception is received different as a person. It has a different effect on different people.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
So, like, my grandparents, my mom's parents, she saw my grandma get beat by my grandfather, like, all the time. He get drunk, he beat her. He get drunk, he beat her. When by the time my mom got married, no, she didn't beat my father, but she had it caused anger issues. So in the beginning part of their marriage, that's what they had to work through was, you know, her being anger. Like you said, I feel like if they get help or somebody around them, somebody in their family that sees that this kid was in this household and saw that he witnessed or she witnessed all this abuse. Because even if you flip it on the other end, when a woman see a kid growing up, like, dang, is that how a man's supposed to treat a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, it has their effect. And I do agree with you as far as, like, you have a choice. When you see what goes on in your household, you either got a choice to continue the curse or you got a choice to try to break it. And which is sad because I hate to see like kids grow up because when they make the choice to stay that same way, like, well, you know, whatever, this is what I saw, or when when a woman feel like, well, this is how the man, this is how my father loved my mom, so I think this is how it's supposed to be. The sad part about it is they go out with the same children, go out into the world and they grow up and then make somebody else victim. And then if they have kids and they see it, it makes somebody else victims until somebody decides, I'm going to break this curse. Because like you said, everybody got a different effect. Not every person who grew up in an abusive household grew up and be like, oh, I'm going to be abusive too. No, they go,
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Because I was sitting there thinking about it and I saw what Lori said too. Because, you know, you do got those type of curses that seem to go on and go on and go on in the family. I think that even if someone chooses to do differently, I'm not saying that they still don't have the scars.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's what I'm saying. They just fight through it. They choose to fight through the scar. They're like, look, I know this. They're like, they might see it coming up. Like, man, I know, you know, like, no, you know, every day, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, every time it gets that
right.
So, I mean, I know, like you said, it's different strokes. Some people, you know, like, maybe not have all their will. And, like, it depends on your support system. You know, just like you said, well, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying, with Uncle Ruben and Auntie Donna, you know what I'm saying? I remember them explaining what marriage was like to me and explaining the things they go through. But it's like when two people, it depends if someone's going to be willing there to help you. So it really depends on people around you that'll help you and if you're ready to admit it. Because sometimes it takes some time. You're like, nope, I ain't there. You know, nope, I didn't get that. Especially, like, I've had male friends, and like I said, I'm going to put everything out there and let them say that to themselves, that was molested. And we, you know, I remember seeing signs of it, and it wasn't until we got older and went, you know, went to church, he was just, nope, that didn't happen, until he finally had that break, like, yep, this happened. He had always buried it and said, I'm going to bury it, it didn't happen. And then when he saw his stepfather again, because his stepfather, I remember we went to his funeral, and he just went crazy at the funeral. I mean, I don't know if that was his moment of, like, I just want to get out of it, but he was just, I mean, screaming at the casket like the body was full up like that. Like, man, he's like, you destroyed me. You destroyed me. He just kept saying it over and over and over again. And every time somebody tried to come up there to stop him, you know, like me and another one of my friends would stop back, like, no, he need this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, and that's what he said, like, you destroyed me. He's like, I was just 8 years old. So, like I said, it just depends, because everybody got that point where they're finally ready to just, like, bam. I don't know if that him seeing them there was like, that's it. Now I feel like I can let loose.
He needed that.
Yeah, he needed.
You know, and you a lot of times you need that either to yell that anger out. That's why a lot of times in therapy, when you go to therapy and a kid is molested or raped, the therapist try to turn it to, okay, one therapy is, I'm that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that person. You know, say how you feel, say what you have to say, because it's a way to get it out. And I know people hate to say, like, especially people who got molested, like, to forgive that person, because you think the forgiveness is for them. but it's for yourself. And it's two people that you got to forgive in that situation because kids ultimately blame themselves. You got to forgive yourself, and then you got to forgive the person. And it's not for them, but it's to free yourself. You know, and a lot of people struggle with that. I've personally never dealt with molestation, so I don't, you know, I can't touch too much on that.
It makes you feel like you have a target on your forehead.
Yeah.
Like I got molested by more than one person, so it may start making you feel like you have a target like on your forehead, like you up for sale, basically. It makes you feel it makes you just feel like you got a target on your forehead, like boom. Okay, yeah, you again. That's how it makes you feel. It makes you feel like a target. But someone is good when not just like it's just like even with one person, if that one person is constantly coming back and get you, it's making you feel like it's a target on your forehead because you're looking around the others and you're like, why are they getting this? And it's like, is it just me? Like, why is it just me? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, why are they targeting me? They make you feel like it's a target, and you really can't explain that feeling when you're going through it because you don't know. You don't know. You're a kid. You don't know why you feeling the way you're feeling, but like some people, like it makes some people who don't even never want to have sex. It make other people turn them on to sex faster. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of these kids growing up. I'm not gonna say all of them. But you see a lot of these kids growing up who's really already sexually active because somebody somewhere in their life when they was younger turned them on to that type of thing.
Yep.
That's really what it is, and that's starting. That's like planting that seed in that kid, and it grows because guess what? They're not going to say, "Well, this is what happened to me," because they're afraid for one, and they feel like they did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, because if you're growing up, your parents don't say, "Can't watch, turn your head, don't watch that, can't watch that." So you don't know, you can't watch it, but it's sex. It's something you're not supposed to be doing, not supposed to be going on. So if you can imagine yourself 6, 7, 8 years old, and you have a grown person coming in at you, you confused, you in a different space, and then you want to close it out. You don't want to remember it. A lot of people don't remember it. A lot of people don't remember it when they get until something happens, and like you said, it comes back like, dang, and then you got this anger. Now you upset. Now you angry, and you don't know what to all these feelings. Then it's got some, okay, well, his person passed away, but then you got some that you see them sometimes. You see them sometimes.
Yeah.
And you want to say to them, like, I know what you did to me. And then you think about it, is it worth it? Like, is it worth it? You kind of weigh it out. I didn't see my molestation person more than one time. I don't know if this person ever got help in his whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? Then you go through a point of feeling when your parents do find out about it or something, you start feeling a little let down. Because what they feel like back in the day was supposed to be done right really wasn't the answer to the situation. Yeah. And then you grow up feeling like they got away with it and it was nothing done by it. And then if you see that happen, if someone else come along and start doing stuff, you're not going to go say nothing either. Because you're looking like, well, did nothing happen to that person. I'm not going to keep saying nothing. Then you start thinking, it's got to be me. And it's not you. It's really not you. It's that sick person that's walking around and has a problem. It's not you. But you kids start thinking it's them. Yeah. And it's not. And then you can tell your child, a million times growing up, anybody ever touch you, I don't care who it is. When they in that situation, they're not coming to tell you. I don't care. You can say, oh, my child will. If they're in that situation, they're not coming to tell you. You probably find out later on something might happen, and like I said, it might blurt out, or they wait till they grown, they start sitting down having a conversation with you, and your mind will you be like,
Would you say that? Okay, so you said you never addressed yours. So would you say you completely healed from that situation?
I can't say I completely healed from it because when I see the person, I don't feel. It's like I'm not like uncomfortable, but I'm not completely comfortable either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm grown now, so it's like I don't let it. It doesn't control my life as it did as a kid. It doesn't control my life, so I can move past it, like whatever. So, but it's not. It's still sometimes like you think about things out the blue. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything could trigger it. You could be watching a movie about somebody, you know what I'm saying, get done. And, you know, you think about like, dang, you know, that's so messed up. And it make you cry, think about it, but you know what I'm saying? I don't wish nothing bad on the people because this was more than one for me.
Right.
I don't wish anything bad on them. And I hope they went to God and said, you know, forgive me for whatever they got to. I can't hold that over their head because I did things in life. I don't want nobody holding up my head. So
if we did an exercise, do you think that would help you if we did exercise with Randy?
What?
No.
No,
I mean, like, if you looked at Randy right now.
No.
And you told Randy exactly. No, I'm saying. Because right now you laughing at you. I'm serious. So I'm saying, because you said you never went to the person, right? And I think that could play a role in, just like he said, that you didn't get that release to say, even though you're saying right now, like, I don't wish nothing bad, but if it still comes back on some level and you see him, like, when you want it, hold on, let me finish. When you want to be able to look at that person and say, you know what, I know you did this, you can deny, you can say this, but this is how I feel.
No, actually, because I'm like, it's not running my life. It's not. So now, back in the day, it would have been a good thing for me to do, but it's not running my life. So
right, that's my question. That's my question.
If it's not running my life, I mean, that's something they have to know.
Right. So when you see him,
I just look at him like,
you don't have no type of.
No, I'll tell you what I said. Like, he's just so nasty. He just looks like he's just dancing. And then, I answered that.
That's your question. No, Lori, she did not go to counseling, but
listen, what happened was, we was at without me saying, we was at an event, and the person was there at the event, and this is how I know this person did not probably still have that thing going on, because a little girl walked in. She had been like 13. She had been like 13. She had been like 13, 12 years old. And the guy said, he was talking to himself, but I heard him. He was like, well, she didn't grow up. And I'm like, who is he talking about? And then the little girl, when the little girl came and sat at the table, and he went up to her like, oh, you didn't grow up. You could tell the little girl did not know who he was, like completely. Did not know you. Remember, because I had hit you. Mm-hmm. Did not know who he was. And I was so happy her daddy was like Johnny on the spot. He went right over there like, boom, like, how you doing? And, oh, yeah. But he completely blocked that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that made me feel like, that when I see him do that, like, I was so disgusted. Like, this dirty little man.
We got a question for you. So the question is, two of them. So from Shamia, so you don't want the person to know that you know. That's the first question. The second question is from Lori. How did you get to that point that is not running your life or ruining your life? Running your life.
Shamia question. How did I get?
So you don't want to know you don't want the person to know that you know.
No, I don't want to go to that person and say, oh, because he already knows.
Right.
He was grown. I was in the first grade. He was grown. So he already knows. I don't have to go to him and say, oh, you did this to me. What's gonna do for me? Like, what's gonna do for me? Like, I'm past it. Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm past it. Well, I'm very with my kids, and I always been. I didn't let my kids go anywhere and everywhere. That was a no-no. I used to cut that short all the time because of incidents like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like I gotta go to him and say he knows what he did. I'm not the only one he did it to. I'm not the only one. So I mean, he knows what he did.
And the next question: how did you get to the point that it's not running your life?
Well, prayer for one. Prayer is really was actually something. God started taking things from me that was bothering me in my life. So, I mean, it wasn't like I said, I didn't do it on my own. I started going to church, and God dealt with me in a lot of them areas, you know. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got, past it. I trust them. Look get twisted. I won't put your kids around them. I don't trust it.
Okay. So, Anybody else?
Well, I mean, y'all know I was molested. 2 people who was like,
Yeah.
one was family,
Same
one
people.
was close to family.
Same people.
Right? Same people.
Same people.
Oh yeah, we had the
Same
same people.
Same people.
We had the same people.
Same people.
But I went through the ordeal of I suppressed it.
Yeah.
For like majority part of my life, like we would talk about, but kind of would bring up stuff from the childhood, and I'm like, I don't remember that.
How do you not
remember that? I actually just did not remember a lot of stuff they talked about, but that's because I didn't want to remember. What happened was something I didn't want to deal with, and it's so funny because I literally forgot all about it, And then when y'all would talk about it more with mom and daddy more so, it was like triggers would start coming back, but I'd be like, and I just wouldn't allow myself to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't know, this one day God just wanted to deal with that in me, and I had to face it.
Mm-hmm.
And once I faced it, I realized it actually made me into the person that I've been over the years, like very closed off. Y'all know I'm closed off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't let people in. I got my little close, tight-knit circle. Right. I'm not openly open, not even with dating, with men, anybody. Trust is so important to me that my trust was broken as a kid because I was violated. So that made me have walls up to protect myself. And so I never let people get close to me. And I have to see how you are first. Let me see how you are. Okay, you cool. Okay, hey, here's me being friendly. And I think it's also with my dating life. Like, I think that's probably why I didn't date majority of the time. Because as a kid, once you get molested, you get violated, and then as you get older, you experience other things in life. Like my high school boyfriend cheated on me with our friend. So that's another betrayal because your boyfriend and your friend. And then so instances like that happens to you. So you're like, okay, I see now this is a world where you can't trust everybody, can't trust people. So it made me not trust anybody. It made me very closed off. And that's why, even with dating, I'm always closed off. Even with dating, like, you can only go so far, and then that's about it. My walls, I'm looking for anything you doing wrong, and I'm cutting you off. And I think that's what helped me be, y'all call me a robot or whatever, but that's my, well, Sheila used to call me a robot. Right. But that stuff like that happened because I was molested. But, and like you said, we see the person, but when I see him, I feel absolutely nothing. I can actually laugh about it. I mean, it's not funny, right. But I'm saying I can laugh about it. It doesn't bother me. It's like it happened to another person.
But you know what, though? Because, I think the reason why it's so, like I said, for me, so tough is because, like I said, I felt like it was targeted more. It was more than one person, but that one person that was in, that one person did me more than so many times that it was just like, like, can you imagine being a first grader and somebody taking you to a room, closing the door, and then pulling out on you, and laying you down and put, I mean, I ain't trying to, but I'm just saying.
I think people need to hear that.
It's like lay you down and rub the big grown man penis on you.
This an issue.
So it's just been like that's the issue I have with him is. When I saw him looking at that girl, it was like, I was like, he has not been delivered.
Oh, man, you're making me upset.
Change.
You're making me upset.
Well, don't be upset.
It's making me upset because this is why it's making me upset. It making me be upset because this the type, this is because I'm the type of person that I am. Or, one, because I love all y'all. But the biggest thing is that I think about just what happened in Michigan State.
Right.
And this is what we have got to stop doing. And I know that Bouncy, she just said something about this, about people sweep things under the rug all the time. And it's like, man, when it happens, it's got to be spoke up. One of my biggest fears that shake me all the time is the fact that my daughter got to grow up in this screwed up world.
Yeah.
And I think about, I tell her every day, just like some of you just said, hey, you got telling her that, anything happen to you, you make sure you come tell Dad. Yeah. You make sure that you let me know. If anybody makes you feel uncomfortable, I don't care where you at. I don't care if you're over your mother's house. I don't care if you're at school. If anybody makes you feel anything but peace and comfort, anywhere you are, you come, you let Daddy know right off the bat. You let Mom know, because that's what predators do. Yeah. They prey upon weak. Yeah. They say, I know you're going to be weak, so I'm going to keep praying upon you. And I have a problem with that when I say I get mad, because I've seen so many young girls oh man, I remember in first year, when I was at Osborne in high school, and I remember I'm not one of these guys that ever get peer pressure. That don't faze me. I don't care if everybody doing it. But I went to a couple of guys invited me over to this house, and it's like about 8 guys, and I'm thinking they over there, we just playing video games, doing all this stuff. I come upstairs, they up there running the train on the girl. And I remember this, so it still pierces in my memory to this day. Opening the door and seeing the girl on the bed and the look in her eye messed me up so bad, because you can tell I don't want to do this. I'm not comfortable with doing this, but yet they doing it. You got one guy at one end. I mean, you got to get one guy there, one guy from the back, and they recording it. And the guys know they wasn't doing nothing right because they one guy covering up his face like this. I remember the whole time, and I remember sitting there thinking, I'm sitting in the room, and like, oh yeah, Kobe, they're like, oh Kobe, you got that. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself like, man, no, man, I'm straight on that, man. I'm like, I'm cool. I went downstairs and remember, leaving out the house, and then he coming back down like, hey man, come on, man, you got it, Kobe. And I remember hitting it, because that's when my guy, a couple of my boys came out and like, hey man, what's going on? And I never told them to this day. Now I hope they watching it. They probably, dang, you never told us that happened. But I remember just thinking myself like, hey, what was that? That my sister. Right. What was that? My cousin. Right. What was that? Like somebody, girls like this up here where you can tell she uncomfortable. She covering herself up and she just doing it. And these guys didn't care. And the problem with this, I know a lot of people gonna say, well, that girl shouldn't have been in there in the first place. Well, let me tell you something. Guys, when a girl likes a guy, she's willing to do anything to be with this guy. And I know the guy that she liked, you know what I'm saying? And he convinced her that that's what you need to do. You need to do this with all my boys. You need to do this with all of them. Putting her in such a position where they got pictures and videotaping all this stuff that was going on of this one girl. I'm like, and then it's just like what you said. Yeah, they ain't telling because she got like 5 older brothers. And none of them knew what was going on. No. None of them knew what was going on. And that bothered me because that's why I'm saying now that people, when it happens, I can't imagine when somebody feels that way. Yeah. All I can think of now is my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I want my little cousins thinking about how it would be just off the bat, how it would feel. How I'd just be wanting it ain't gonna be no talking. Like, I'm not talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should. My thing would be like, if somebody ever did anything to my daughter, I'm like, man, the guy, I'm sending you getting sent the ticket. You getting sent the ticket right now. I'm toe tagging you. It ain't no conversation. It ain't no debates. I'm laying you out. You on the ground. You did. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. See you, Wayne County Examiner's Office. And we need to get to the point where all these women, and my heart go out to them, and the boys too, because they getting molested. Yeah, but with this Michigan State situation, it bothered me so bad because I'm sitting back looking like 168 girls. The president didn't know about it. No, none of them knew about it. People ain't speaking up about it. So people need to speak up because people need to pay for the things they did. Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong, the people that did it, if you're one of the people that might be lying, talking about I got raped and you didn't get raped, you need to pay for it because this ain't a game. I'm out here about this, man, because people really go through this. There's people out here, they never told a soul. Yeah. And they horrible. They are dying inside like they just drinking poison. And that's why, I say I get upset because you look at that situation because people, with a predator, somebody that does that, that's like just as bad, raping because you do it because it's a power thing. And you hold these people hostage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally, and, mentally. It ain't no joke to play with someone's life like that. Like we were saying, everybody is not strong. Everybody ain't strong like that. Right. It just ain't happening like that. And like I said, it just made me shiver thinking about my daughter not telling me. Yeah. Like, baby, you can trust me. But like I said, because you're thinking it's your fault.
Yeah, well, here, before you answer, because I want to make sure I get people included here. Lori wants to know, were either one of you threatened to keep your mouth shut when y'all went through that?
It wasn't a point of being threatened. It's the point of being a kid with a grown person over you. I can't explain it unless you've been through it. I know everybody don't say, I'm a kid, say nothing. What they do say, what I do remember saying was, don't say nothing. You're going to be in trouble.
And they say that.
Yeah, but they didn't say, he never said, oh, I'm gonna kill you or stuff like that. The person was just sick. I mean, the person was just.
Because he knows. Every time he see you,
he knows.
They know about it.
And at the point of, he used to, it was go upstairs to the bathroom. Say, one night, me and my sister was out the window, looking out the window. It was kids. Kids do silly stuff. Out the window, talking, man. And he comes to the bathroom window. He's there, right next door. Yeah. So he comes to the bathroom window, and he just showed his penis. We yelled his penis, ran away. We did yell and run away. It was like, what? I mean, this is stuff he was doing to kids. And we went on the kids in them houses.
And so, I don't think it was just.
It wasn't.
I think it's more like you ashamed. Like you say, internalize. I internalize all my emotions. So if I don't talk about it, it didn't happen. So and then it just never occurred to me to tell my parents until I became an adult. Like my parents didn't have a clue.
Right.
And my fear is that when I have a kid, hopefully my kids never get molested. And I just feel like if it happens to them, I have feeling they're not gonna come tell me because it's not something you think you can run and tell. Even though you know your parents love you and they're gonna protect you and they'll fight for you. Is this something as a kid?
And that's the killer for the parents. Because
I
would think like that now. Like if I had kids and they were like, man, this happened to me. The first thing I'm thinking is like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And like you said, I don't care how many years is away. I don't care if somebody told me, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, I'm like, man, I want to go find them. I want to kill them. This is a wrap. I don't care if you got over it. I'm not over it now. Now it's my turn. I ain't over it now.
I'm not over it.
Because now we got to start it all over again.
Yeah, I'm gonna say one thing too, and then you have the perverts. I'm just going, let's keep it 100. You have a pervert, and it'd be the family. It'd be the family members. Yeah. Okay, when they know that you got molested, they say, well, show me what he did to you. Or did he do this, do that? Right. You sick. You're just trying to do it too. You're just right. You're doing it too. And then you're trying to say, you trying to reflect it as you're not. You're helping. You're not helping me. Putting your hands down there is not helping.
Right.
It's making me feel, hey, okay, he goes another time. Okay, now he's doing me. You feel me? And that's how I feel.
But you know what's funny though? Let me tell you something. You was talking about your point you made about being a target. Two incidents when I was grown. I probably shouldn't say this person's name. Okay, I'm not gonna say this person's name, but it's somebody we all know in the church, okay? Grabbed my butt, okay? And I was pissed. I was so pissed.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? You weren't there for that. Were you there for that?
Yeah. No, I wasn't there for it, but I got many stories about him. But yeah.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off. And another person came in and, talked to me. He was like, calm down, it's okay. I was so pissed off because I'm like, I'm tired of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want to constantly violate me. And then it was that incident. Then I had another incident where, as an adult, I was working at Janice Davis Cleaners, and my boss made a pass at me. And I was like so outdone. Every time you think, like, I used to always say, like you say, you don't always say what you would do. Mm-hmm. I would say, man, if a person ever sexually harassed me or touched me, I would do this, this, and this, and this. But I do not. When it happened to me, I was at work at the end of the day. I was wrapping up. He came back, talked to me face to face like this, and he just did like that. When I say I froze, I just stood there.
To me.
I had to show you. Right? You didn't do it. But he kept talking to me like it never happened. Right. Like I thought it was crazy. He kept on with the conversation like it never happened. I just stood there and I was just like, oh my God. So I just punched out. I remember like yesterday, standing there frozen. I walked out in slow motion. I got in the car. My mom was picking me up. I got in the car. I closed the door and I sat back in the back and I was looking. I said, Mom. She was just talking. I said, Mom, my boss just grabbed my breast. She was, what? And I was just like, I felt no emotion in that moment. I felt nothing. I was like numb. It's like, I couldn't believe it happened. And then, so then I come home, and as soon as I saw my dad, I just broke down crying. Because I was just like, I can't believe this happened, And in that moment, when my daddy, my mom, when I said they were there for me, like, he was like, oh no, we going to the police station, we doing this, we doing that. And when he fought for me, it helped me, like, in the past, because I didn't tell them, so they protected me, and I felt so protected. And they were with me every step of the way. he said he came with his wife. I thought he had a wife and he had teenage daughters. And he did it to another woman. And he came in with his wife. We was in the little small courtroom, and he looked at me, and I didn't even want to look at him. I didn't even look at his wife because I felt bad. But my parents was there, and they got me through that whole thing. And I was just like, and then when it happened, I kept thinking, like, why does this keep happening? Like, what's going on, you know? And so I just, that just helped me a lot because my parents is like, I had them to lean on. I know a lot of people don't have that. You know, they don't have that support. So maybe they wouldn't. Maybe I wouldn't have said anything. Maybe I would have let him get away with it. But he lost his job and everything. He didn't get away with it. And it's on file. So if you do it to somebody else, it's a track record.
And that's exactly why. Yeah. That's why we need people to speak up.
Absolutely.
That's why we need to speak, because people need to be on record for accountability, men and women. Like you said, man. All right.
We have 2 comments. We're gonna let Reddy. I know you can go back to 2 comments. 3 comments. But from I don't want to say name wrong. Hope I'm not. I apologize if I do. But I think Shalon is her name. And she said, I thank God for my mom protecting us because she knew we had some perverted men in our family, but those individuals that violated others have not been dealt with, and I don't agree with that at all. One is dead and died a painful, hard death, and I believe it's because of the pain caused others. Lori said, that would do it for a child. It does not take much to convince a child not to talk regarding your anger response. Mm-hmm. Not to talk, no matter how much you teach them about abuse. But older girls, like all the women, talking about what happened 20 years ago, I just don't understand what type of fear they had not to say anything when it happened. Parentheses, not the children abuse, but the people like the Bill Cosby and the Roy Moore in 45 helped me understand why, like, adults, when you were an adult and you went through that, and then now 20 years later, and that is, I'm not saying they shouldn't speak about it now, but that is like a lot of my questions that a lot of men in Hollywood right now are going through. Women coming out, oh, he raped me, or he did this, and it's like that's honestly, Lori, that's one of my questions that I have. I don't have an answer for. I wish I did, of why you waited 45 years and now y'all want to punish him now. His life is, you know what I'm saying, lifespan already went, because what happens is it becomes your word against his, because what can they really prove if you don't have any type of like evidence from going to the police, from going to the hospital. And another comment we have is, yes, you don't want to cause trouble. That was Shannon. She was saying, yes, you don't want to cause trouble when you were a kid, and that you don't want to speak up. And that's a lot of kids have that thoughts. Ray, you pretty much answered mine, because my question for you was, and you can kind of add on to it, is what for people who watch who have kids and you have a little girl, what precautions do you take or try to take, even though it's kind of still sometimes out of your hands? What precautions do you take to try to limit your daughter's possibility of being a victim of something like that?
Just to like a lot of fathers, I know it's single mothers out there too, but a lot of fathers, when you got kids, one of the biggest things is that even with my ex-wife, and it seems extreme, but I'm like, I want to know if you even got a boyfriend. I want to know that dude's name. I want to know who he is. If you feel he's comfortable enough to pick her up, maybe from school, or stay in the house with him, I want to know him, because I want to be able to have somewhere to point or think about if my daughter start acting strange, if she start acting fade away. So I've always been like that. And when I find out, I'm doing my research. I'm pulling up on that. I'm like, I want to meet you. I want to shake your hand. I want to see you. I'm always one of them parents that I believe, even when I was, my woman, when I knew that this is a woman that was going to be around my daughter, first thing I did to her is, here, this is one I'm around. I'm going to let her know she's going to be around a kid. Some people, find that ignorant, she didn't understand that too, like it didn't matter. But I'm like, you got to be an adult about this, because you don't want to have your kids around just anybody. No. So when you have, like those things, it's serious. You try to, if I don't know the parent, I don't care how friendly you is with the kid in school, you ain't going nowhere. You gonna know. Mm-hmm. And that first time you go out with them, I'm gonna be there, because I want to see what they do, how they do it, everything. I might be one of those, parents that I'm just a head-on father. I'm not one of them, dads, because I'm not let's get, things straight. I ain't no weekend dad. My daughter's always with me. So when it comes to those things, I take it very seriously because I see the things that go on out here, and just not for her, for her, but for me as well. So, I mean, when it comes to that, you got to be able to not just say, oh, it's just, they're just going over here. It's just a night thing. No, I want parents to know me. Like, I would be leery about a parent that says, oh, yeah, you could go with Mr. Johnson. Like, ma'am, you don't know Mr. Johnson. Even though, you see my daughter and stuff like that, you don't know. You should be wanting everything. Because the first thing I do if I'm with a parent, I'm like, here's my telephone number. Here's my work number. Here's my address. Because I want you to know, like, this serious. Like, I ain't got nothing to add. Let's talk. Let's find out. Let's get some communication. Because it could be some things that parent does I ain't with.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, you let your kid do that? Hey, it was nice meeting you. And then you're not going over there.
Right.
So,
like, when my kids, when they'll tell you, my kids, I was, no. Yes. If I don't know the parent, it took me a minute to let them do that. And I like to let my kids go. But if I didn't know you, you're not going. I mean, it's like that. I'm kind of like that now. It's still like that.
I'm still
like that now. I get on my kids' nerves, but I want to know what they're doing and where they at.
If you think about growing up, mom, dad like that with us. Like, only person
I'm still like that.
It only take that one.
Yeah,
it only take one scumbag.
Yeah, because I was only able to go to Sheila's house.
I got it bad.
Sheila's house. Nobody's house but Sheila's house.
I got it bad.
And then they had to meet her parents, get to know her parents, and Sheila's parents the same way. But the people who did us was people that was either family, either family or like family.
That's the truth.
That's what Bouncy was saying.
I'm
telling you, the people that do the most stuff
to
you.
Get
It's the
out.
people you're supposed to be able to
Get
trust.
out.
It's the people you're supposed to be able to trust. And them the ones you can't
Get
trust.
out.
So Chantel said, I think a lot of people, first, Shamia said that goes for little boys too.
Yeah.
I've been saying that.
And Lori said, look how many women were abused that could have been avoided if one or more had said something.
Right.
Chantel said, I think a lot of people don't speak up because they are scared, they don't have support, and they don't want to feel like they let their family down.
Yep.
She said, as an adult, you feel embarrassed for putting yourself in a situation to get violated, so you don't say anything. I think that's going to the women that rape. You feel like it's your fault, and who want to admit to that to the world. That's hard for some people. And different bounces.
I was going to say.
She agreed with you. Said that's right. Ready to protect your.
Because I put it like this. Because what y'all was just saying, like, I'll give you a good example. Like, just at work, I can talk about it now because all the investigation is done.
Mm-hmm.
I had an instance where we had someone I was working with, another woman. And what happened is that when I was training her, I told them at first, I said, I really don't feel comfortable training this woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want it to be in such a way where I was being like I'm sexist, like I don't want to be around this woman and all this other good stuff. But I was doing it to take care of myself because I ain't stupid. I know when someone is flirting with me and I know when something is going on. So what ended up happening is that over the work phone, she was trying to, talk, make advances. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. Let's get to work. I was doing everything, even being top-notch mean to let her know there wasn't going on. So what I did to cover myself is I went to management and I told them, hey, I don't feel comfortable. I believe something might potentially happen because I've said over and over again, I don't want the advances. And she's made remarks like, well, I'm probably going to send you something in your text. I'm like, no, I'm all right. What ended up happening, she sent me 3 hot shots in my work phone. 3 of them. And if I had never said that because I was scared, like, because with all this stuff coming out, and I've been scared and said, nope, but I'm like, no, I'm covering myself. Right. So what happens? As soon as we get in the office, and this is the funny thing about the office, I get in the office, and after they see this and everything else of that nature, she ended up, we went through all the union things and all that nature. And the guys, just to let you know that the atmosphere of how this stuff go, where they was trying to get, and I was like, no, come on now. You know what I'm saying? I'm a manager. So y'all ain't playing me. I ain't stupid.
Right.
So they got in there, they was like laughing, like, well, dang, she was looking kind of good, wasn't she, Rain? I'm like, what's so funny?
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, what y'all trying to do? Y'all trying to get me to laugh and go like, oh,
Yeah.
all this stuff with you? Because if it hadn't been her here, y'all been having the police.
Yep.
Y'all have had everybody else ready to escort me out. But now y'all think it's a joke because I'm a man, even though I told y'all ahead of time that this was gonna happen. And now y'all want to try to like this, what like our good old president say, locker room talk. Oh yeah, you know that was a piece. You know, I'm like no, it wasn't a piece of nothing.
Exactly.
You're like, I told y'all this is why I didn't want to happen. That's why I wanted to make sure it was documented. That's why I want to make sure my union knew and everything else knew. So, like, you know, like you were saying, you wanted whatever, like when you say what happened to you at work, because I'm like, it just ain't the man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not.
It's these women out here that, you know, like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay, like I'm straight on that. But I mean, it's crazy. I mean, perverts don't know, you know, man or woman.
Yeah, but the sad part is that they made it be a joke for you.
But they wanted a joke because they wanted to see me.
When it's the same exact thing. Violation is violation. On them, it's the same thing.
They want to be like, oh yeah, you know, yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. My thing was, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, it ain't. This ain't a joke because I told y'all this was gonna happen. I let y'all know the reasoning why behind. Y'all took it as a joke. But it wouldn't have been a joke if she hadn't came in here. Y'all would have been ready to walk me out the door, do everything else like that. And you know what? I want y'all to do her the same way.
Yep.
Exactly. So,
and it happened.
Bouncy. I'm sorry, I'm calling Bouncy because I don't want to mention your name. That's what Randy called you. Her and Lori both applaud both of y'all. They said y'all very brave for speaking out.
Oh, thank you.
Although I'm kind of made them getting.
You didn't make me, but I was gonna say, when you was talking about, I think Randy or somebody said something about when a girl pretends rape. I'd like to touch on that too, because I was it's very important that women, we already know how it is out here nowadays. You know, you sometimes you can't even walk past a man and give him the wrong number without him getting upset or calling your phone, checking it, whatever. But start caring. You know, we know how someone carrying stuff out here, but we got someone carrying stuff like women out here. Start carrying yourself like that. You know, watch who you pick, watch who you're around. You know, watch you. Sometimes you have to be. I always tell my kids this. If I get a feeling about somebody, sometimes I don't know what the feeling is, but if I get a feeling about that person, I know I get on their nerves, but I don't even care. I'm like that person not right. They be around that person. I don't know what that person is. Or sometimes I don't. I just let them know. I just got a feeling about this person. You know, just watch your surroundings, because these men out here are crazy. And I was looking at the incident I had. I was like 14 years old. Again, troubled child because all the stuff I was going through. I caught myself running away from home, which they had nothing to do with. Please don't get it twisted. They had nothing to do with nothing here. But I left home because I was acting out, trouble. And I was with a friend of mine, and she's like, okay, we're going to go. My brother was going to pick us up. Now, her brother was grown. Like I said, we was 14, 13. My brother can pick us up or whatever, and then we'll go to the store or whatever. So she did tell me that we was going to her brother's house. So we get up to her brother's house. She goes in the room with her brother's friend. Again, I'm 14 years old, so I'm sitting there like, what? Oh, my God. Okay, so I'm sitting here. So the brother, I would love to say his name so bad. Anyway, I'm not. But he was like, well, I'm not taking y'all home tonight. I'm not taking y'all back over to her house tonight. He was like, I'm taking y'all gonna spend my night here. You can just go in the other room. So, you know, I'm like, okay, I sat there for a minute. Okay, I got up, I went to the other room, I shut the door behind me. I'm laying down. Like I was get comfortable. Okay. The man come in there and literally attacks me while I'm laying in the bed. So I'm literally fighting him off like, no. Mind you, I know she hearing me because she in the other room. Like I know she hearing me because she's in the other room. Right. So he finally stopped. He was like, well, I was just trying. I said, no. I said, I was so like, no. I was so uncomfortable that I didn't even go back to sleep. I just sat there in the room like all night. Next morning, I got up. I was going to call my dad. When I was in trouble, you know, I didn't care. I was going to call mom to come pick me up. I go to grab the phone. He assumed I'm going to call somebody on him because he know he was wrong. And he heals me up. He twists my arm, slamming against the wall. Then one for his friend coming in there and saying, pushing him, his friend, not my friend, his friend came in here and pushed him or whatever. My friend wasn't even trying to help me. So I only call my friend. Let's take it back because she's not my friend. Didn't even try to help me. And then we driving home. Like I'm driving now. Because we was in this friend car, so we're driving home. I'm in the front seat. I'm not in the back. I'm in the front seat with his friend because his friend made me feel comfortable because he just protected. You understand what I'm saying? And so the guy go in the store. And he came back with an orange Faygo pop. I remember this story. I remember the story like yesterday. He came in with an orange Faygo pop. And I looked at him. I said, no, I don't want the pop. And I just started really dealing with the person. But now he's one person because he denied it. And they was trying to make me look crazy out here because I was picking up about that. I told her. And she knew because she was right there. And when I'm thinking she on my side. But no, she was still against me. Like, seriously. Woo. Be careful who you deal with. She was still against me. She still denies it to this day. She still denies. She still, even though he knows, she knows, I know, they know. And she still denies it to this day. So be careful who your friends are too. Young ladies and guys. Be careful who your friends are too.
Shamir got a good question.
So that's that.
Ask that question because we still got a whole time of physical abuse.
So she says, her question is, what do you think about those parents that tell their girls they should never be without money because they got a money maker?
Because they got a money maker?
Yep. Pretty much because they got a pussy.
Oh, right.
Oh. Somebody tell the girls that?
I've heard women tell their daughters that.
Yeah, and that's how they act. Because okay, you got women who because that's how they think.
Yeah.
And I know some people right now that the mother, that's how she was when she was coming up. Like that's how she thought for herself. Like I'm about to get out here and make this money. I'm about to do this. I mean, women do it all the time for celebrities.
They do it all the time.
You know what I'm saying? And they train their daughters. Crazy thing is to be the same way, which kind of demeans. You know, when you raising your daughter and that's all she knows, and that's all she sees in their mind, that's what she does.
That's all she works.
Exactly. So for women who tell their daughters that, I just feel like, you know, they didn't have much of an upbringing or respect for themselves.
They didn't.
And they don't view women of much value. They don't view
they don't value themselves.
The only thing they think about is money.
Because I tell my daughters all the time, do better than me. You be better than me. Yeah. Don't make my mistakes.
Yeah.
So for a parent to tell their daughter something like that, like you don't really care about your child, so your child something like that, because you want your daughter to be great. Yeah. You want your kids to be great. So I don't.
That's all they're gonna rely on. That's all they're gonna rely on.
Honestly, I can understand. I can't understand none of that because I tell my daughter all the time. That's the way. That's the real reason I treat my daughter. Which is period because I love her, but I treat her a certain way because like man, I'm putting a standard towards you about what a man should be like. Period.
Yeah.
So if any man come up to you talking that nonsense, talking about here's a gift, what's up with some legs? I'm like the only thing you ever got to tell him is a thank you, and if he can't accept the thank you, throw it back to him.
Yep.
Exactly.
Dude, we talking about daddy. That's
how the ones want to do. Like
you can't do it.
A lot of men feel like okay. So it's two angles with that one. Some men feel like that if they take a woman out to eat, then they get something in return.
No.
They work for something. And then you got the other angle where why is it that men be like when they do take a woman out to eat and a woman demand more, they feel like why I gotta work for the pussy.
First of all, I'll tell you just straight off the bat, and any man in the world, and right now, straight up, if you can't afford to take her out, don't take her out.
Please,
don't do
thank you.
Let me tell you something. My bill for going out to eat will pay some of y'all gas bill.
Okay.
With the woman I take out, and I don't expect her to do anything. And I do it because I want to do it because this is how I am. So I don't just go with the appearance like, oh, if you do this, if you order from the left side, you gotta give me this, and you gotta give me that. First of all, I feel like any guy that do that, you must be so much of a pervert that you ain't never had sex before that you're thinking that just the way to do it.
Yep.
If you can't afford to take the woman out, simply don't do it. No woman owes you anything. When you put a check and you say you paying for the meal, first of all, that's what a man is. I don't understand why men think that you don't get credit for being a man.
Right.
You a man. Usually it's things that you're supposed to do. Like, if I open up the door, that means, no, that's what you're supposed to do. Right. Or if I protect it, no, that's what you're supposed to do. If you go out and y'all go out to eat, you're supposed to pay for it. Yeah. If I offer a woman to go on a date, I'm paying for it. Yeah. Okay? If I can't afford it, hey, we're going to do it another day. We're going to do it next week. Exactly. So, I mean, I don't understand that. And I just don't say that just because of men. I say that, like my daughter and stuff like that. Like, like, nigga, you stupid? If you that dumb, where you think you gotta, oh man, I paid this much for it. Yes, homie, just step up your life. I'm not saying I'm balling, I do better than most, but I ain't worried about if you worried about spending the money on a woman, then don't take her out.
Exactly. But you know what? They do that. They do that. Some of them men do that because they think that's how they gonna get over the woman. They try to, run game. And if the woman don't know her self-value or her worth,
it's called the bunny ranch. You want to pay for something, it's called the bunny ranch.
Listen though, it's just like this guy took me when I first started dating. When I first got separated, that's the first started dating. I got 2 stars. Okay, but why could break the real grip? Wrap it up. Okay, so we went to Beans and Cornbread. Okay, on Telegram. Okay, if y'all ever been there, they meals like $14.99, $13.99. And then I could have bought my own meal. And so I'm sitting there, we eating. I'm like, it's a cool day. He's an older dude. I'm thinking like, oh, he's older than me. He's like in his 50s, I'm like, okay, cool. So he's sitting there. He like, oh, so what we doing after? Like, which one do after this? I think he's talking about bowling, moving, stuff. I'm like, he like, there's a red roof in right there. I'm like, you can take me home. That means I carry my knife in my purse. I carry my knife in my purse because I ain't say that. Take me home.
That's a whole $15.
I'm going to go and say, okay, we're going to red roof in because this is Conrad. I'm in my pocket and pay my stuff with my own bill. Like, seriously.
What you like?
No. You think that's right? You think that's bad? No. Okay. This is my first time dating. I don't know what's wrong with you guys, but anyway.
She threw the food on the floor.
We went the day before the fireworks. There was this guy, he's like, I'm going to take you out, let's go riding around. It was summertime fireworks, so fireworks going on, whatever. I'm like, cool. He like, you want to go to the gas? Let's go to the gas station. I'm like, cool. He's like, what you want for the gas station? I'm like, you need fucking 35-cent gone. 35-cent gone. Okay. 35 cents. He come back to the car, and he had money. So he's the female just throwing it out there. So he coming back with the gun. I'm like, oh, thank you for the gun. Mind you, I carry my knife in my purse at all times. So he like, we go down, coming off Jefferson, like going towards back Matt and everything else, going on a little sad street. Right. Y'all know what I'm talking about, dark lots. So he says, I was gonna take you to my house with my son. And I said, no, you weren't gonna take me to your house. You can take me home. Like, what is?
He bought you that 35
cents, huh?
You go get that 35 cents.
What in the world? Let me give you 35 cents.
They out there like that.
He reached out to me on Facebook and I denied that.
He's like, what about that 35 cents?
No, but a lot of, I'm not trying to blame the women for this. But a lot of times, it's a lot of women out here, you take them to like McDonald's or anything else. And I knew somebody, literally, I was in the houses when I lived in Ypsilanti, and she wanted to drive this guy's car. He said, you could drive my car if you give me it.
And she gave him hand.
And she gave him hand. Stop it. And I'm not joking.
Guess what? When you make the deal, you can't, it's nothing wrong. There's no assault. If you make the deal.
Oh, no, it's not assault.
I'm saying you make the deal.
But I'm saying, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's women out here like that, and then these men get messed up because they keep coming across women like that. That when they come across a woman who is not like that, they come down the same way, like, hey.
But they better learn fast. And each one.
Oh, you do learn fast. You ain't taking me.
You know, this is another thing I hate.
I don't know where you met these guys. You probably.
I don't know.
You gotta let them know where
you're Detroit.
No,
pick them up on Jefferson.
I wasn't on Jefferson.
No gas station.
No.
I wasn't on Jefferson. Let's get it straight. I was not on Jefferson.
I I agree. It is a lot of women like that.
But
yeah.
I met him in the neighborhood. It wasn't on Jefferson. But I just want to say, this is my pet peeve too. Because why do some men, not all men, think because you're a BBW that you have low self-esteem? This is what I'm saying, because this guy tried to talk to me, and I just thought it was really weird. He gonna ask me what's my bra size. I didn't. And I'm like, this is the wrong shit. That's sexual harassment. So I said, you don't ask a woman a question like that. And he said, this was exactly what he said. Y'all think I'm what he said. You're the first woman told me that.
What?
That's what he said. And I said, well,
yeah.
I'll be the first and I'm going to be, I guess I'm going to be last. I know.
Now that says it all right there.
Like, who said that?
Women out there like that. I'm not joking. Like, I have male friends that tell me the craziest stuff. And I'm like, she did that? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nicole, baby.
They out there like that.
I think highly of myself.
Lori laughing. They both say I'm done. Listen, do not meet any men at the gas station.
No gas station, no neighborhood, no grocery store,
corner store. Listen,
no internet. Well, I don't do the internet anyway. I'm just saying.
You don't do the internet?
No.
We had a conversation.
About that last week.
I don't do the internet.
Don't stop. Don't keep going. My brother used to crack on my sister a lot. Not my other sister a lot, and he used to always say, "Oh, what you had to do at the gas station? Try to talk to you because every time she go to the gas station, it's a guy trying to talk to her. Don't be the thirsty guy. Yeah, stay away from the thirsty guys too.
Well, I didn't even know them at the gas station. I met Kay on this street on this house.
You said name.
I said Kay.
Oh.
I said Kay. I didn't say what the
He
name
definitely
was.
know who he is. Because he the one who took it.
You know who you are.
You about to get an inbox.
You know better.
Really?
That 35.
Oh, man. That was a nice refreshing break that goes for that laugh.
Y'all will get too morbid here. I have to check to see.
Well, we about to get a little bit back.
All right, let's go.
Physical abuse. Okay. A lot of people don't understand. Angie asked this question once, or she said she would never have done it. When it comes to a woman being abused and staying in that situation, a lot of people do not understand why you don't get out, why you don't leave. Right? That's still one of your questions.
Mm-hmm. Well, not really. I answered it myself.
Right. So, what was your answer to why you think that they don't leave?
I feel like they've been in it for so long. I feel like in the very beginning, from the first hit, if you don't leave, then you're gonna get stuck there because then that gives him enough power to destroy your self-esteem.
Yep.
Destroy, any self-worth or value that you have about yourself.
Yep.
To where you feel like you're worthless and you can't do anything without him. So you believe the lies that he's been telling you, and so you're stuck there because you believe it. So you're in your own prison at that point.
What about you, Randy?
That's like one of those questions. You just like, man, it's like you try to figure out what would make somebody stay with someone that's just always beating you.
Yeah.
I think one part of it is that they're used to it.
Yeah.
The scary part is that they're comfortable with it now. And the other part about it is that they believe it's right. Like, okay, I've seen some women, I've heard some women, especially a lot of, I can't even say old school, because I see a lot of the younger, especially a lot of these younger girls.
Yeah.
They'll stay in these relationships, guys. Because they fighting back with each other, and they think it's like cool. They think it's the new love. I'm like, this ain't no new love. Man. When the guy put his hands on you, it ain't no love.
Definitely.
They don't do that. So I think some women, man, I think some of them is fear.
Yeah.
They scared to death of him.
Yeah.
They think that guy, you might have took, because like I said, when you get somebody that can manipulate you mentally,
mm-hmm.
it's crazy. They'll tell you like, man, I'll go kill your mom. I'll go kill your dad.
Exactly.
You can have all your brothers could be military,
Yep.
SEAL Team 6 guys, and you would still believe, oh man, he's gonna kill y'all, for some reason. But I think the biggest one is fear. I think a lot of them are terrified to leave, and then do you think about if they're in a household where let's say he the main breadwinner.
Yeah.
He the one that is always, you know, they feel like they'll have nothing.
Yep.
You know, like, man, you have nothing, like this and that. So I think it's fear and that
It's
financial.
all mixed together.
Yeah, it's
like a combination of everything.
Yeah.
Chantel said, I didn't leave because of threats that were made against my family. Lori also commented, she said, kind of what you said, right? Low self-esteem, and it has money. And he has money. They can't make it without the same lifestyle. And all he was throwing you pennies anyway, use the children as an excuse and fear. Some people use the children as an excuse.
Because I think a lot of women, and that's why I see a lot of that big movement of women that say, make sure you got your own. Make sure you got your own.
Yeah.
Make sure you got your own.
Yep.
Don't trust on him. Don't wait on
another man.
Because it's like, yeah, I can understand where they're coming from with that, but I think that's some part.
But what about the women?
Or the men just let them down?
What about the women who actually can get out? They got family, don't let family help them. They finally take the step and they get out, but then they go back. So when they're out,
right? We gonna get back to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's another good question. Hold on a question, Nicole. The first question.
Oh,
why do you think that?
What was the question?
Why do you think that the women stay? Like the challenges of them leaving.
I think, like already said, fear. Yes, I think it's the biggest thing, like dealing with the fear part. And then, like you said, low self-esteem could be something in them. It could be something that they took from childhood and still limit why you got to that one person, or it could be it could be a million things why they stay.
But I don't even know if it's because the woman has low self-esteem beforehand. You can be like the most confident woman.
Yeah, I can say either or.
You have a career, but then you meet this guy who, in the beginning, he's all cool, like he's so perfect.
Then he and
then he switched after marriage.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You get those.
So not just marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Oh, that's true too. So your other question was why do they go back, right?
Yeah, once they get out and they know they've been out, your family helps you, they set you up, you good. But then the man come back around trying to get you back, and somehow they want to believe that he's changed, even though he has not had no type of counseling.
Because they still love
him. It's like as much as they had him, as much as love him. I know a girl who I was able to talk to before I did this show because I learned all the ins and outs of everything. And she was telling me when she first started dating this guy that they started off, everything was cool, like I said, the sweet thing. Mm-hmm. And then it went to verbal abuse. Mm-hmm. And then, like, the more the heated arguments they went, like, it would start to escalate. He still never put his hands on her. It wasn't until they were at a party and he saw a guy trying to talk to her, and they had a little, bickering about it, that he did his first hit, but it was like a punch to her. And then from that moment on, it went to, she like, okay, they apologize. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, well, he probably won't do it again. This never happened. We've had heated arguments, never happened again. So she said, then it went to as far as where now when they get into arguments, it was a little bit more shoving, hitting. Then one day, she said, and she'll never forget this. One day he asked her, he said, do you have low self-esteem? And she was like, no. I told him, no, I don't have low self-esteem. She said, it seemed like from that moment on, he did everything he could. Like it was like a strategic plan to break her down. So like he would say that, like if they get into it, he'd say negative things. You fat, you gain weight, you this. You look at your stomach. Like it was just repetitive. And then when they get into it, it was still hitting, but it wasn't to the face. Then it started getting like one day she finally got a punch to the face, a lip, and it was around like his family. But the family is because it was a family event, but the family was in the other room. You know what I'm saying? So then it escalated from there. And she told me, like, she remembered getting to a place in life, like, she loved him so much, but she hated him at the same time. She wanted to get away from him, but it's like the more she tried to build herself up, the more negative things he would feed her, to the point that she lost herself in that relationship. And even when it's like I said, everything he did was a strategic plan. Like, he alienated her from everybody. Her family to this day don't even know she went through this stuff.
Wow.
So then it got so bad, like she started praying and like, trying to find a way out of it, pray. But even though she prayed, it's like she still wanted to stay there, because the one time when he did break up with her, she wanted to kill herself. She wanted him just that bad, but she couldn't understand why she couldn't live without this person who tore her down. And it wasn't until one day she said she was at his house and she went into his bathroom after they got into a really bad slammed the door, and like laid on the floor. And she cried and she prayed. And she said, "If there's anything you can do to get me out of this, like get me out of it." And so after that, she still stayed with him. But the last time that they broke up, it was like, even though she had to go through a dark like phase, you know what I'm saying? What she did was, after our time, she would hang out with like her really good friend all the time, or she'll go out with her other friends to like get through that. And another thing that struck a chord for her was when one day she went to work, and it was a new job. Nobody really knew her. And this guy who she didn't know from Adam was having to look at her arm and was like, "Oh, like you," and asked her. Didn't know her. You know what I'm saying? She could have got offended, but she said she didn't. He asked her, like, are you getting abused? Like, your boyfriend be abusing you? And she's like, "No." You know what I'm saying? Like, it was one of those things, but it was little things like that to Mary see, like, this is the issue. She said she went through that on her own. So I kicked the question to her, "Why did you stay?" She said, "Because you get such in a dark place and you get so broken down that you really feel like this is the only person you have, especially when you don't want to tell your family because you are super embarrassed at what they think, even though you know your family gonna have your back. It's like you don't want nothing to happen to him. Mm-hmm. So you're like, well, let me sit down because I love him. Where would my life be without him? And this is that. Oh, I'm not gonna get anybody else. Who else is gonna like me?" And then after that, the domino effect of when she just went and just dated people, and then like didn't care like who she dated. Her self-esteem was off. She said it took her so many years to build herself back up that she was single at that time, and that person was me.
What?
I went through that. I'm not crying or emotional from a place of hurt, but from a place of, for my brother. I mean, my brother was here, but I am so happy to be in this place where I can talk about it and it don't affect me. But I say this to people because I recently know a friend who went through it. You can get out. And even if you don't believe in prayer, you can pray. Prayer answer. Once again, I'm not hurt. I'm so past it. I'm so over it. I'm so free. I mean it. But you got to value yourself so much more to pray through it. You have if you have a family, your family can't work through it. But see, I am an internal person, so I don't get out. Maybe the one person who do know is like maybe my really good female best friend, and that would probably be it. But it's like you can get past it, you can get through it, and I'm in such a good place of getting over it. I didn't tell my family because I think my family are very get upset, as you see.
Yes. Come on. Oh my God.
But at the same time, when I went to church and I talked to somebody about it, I feel like because of the business I have with Heels in Pursuit, that I was meant to go through that for a reason. Mm-hmm. Everything I went through in my life with female friends who judged the decisions I made in college, people who I was there for and wasn't there for me in return, everything negative I went through is for me to be able to give back. And that's why I created Heels in Pursuit. It's not all about the money. It's about being able to be a woman to help other women who go through different things. Relationships are so important. It's in our everyday life. And I mean it. You cannot do anything. You can't be successful without relationship. So when I see women tear women down, when I went through the stages of being judged by other girls who feel like they have never did nothing wrong, it's like, now where I am, I'm happy. I'm happy. And I can help other people who say, those are not your friends. Mm-hmm. Because regardless what decisions you make in life, your friends may kick it real to you and tell you something, But guess what? They gonna still be there for you. So when I don't have friends in college, when my friends from high school and friends from college that I don't have the best bond with, my adult friends that I have, no matter what we go through, no matter what decisions we make to do with our lives, they will have your back. So if you have friends who can't stick through you, if you go through an abusive situation, if you go through a sexual situation, if you choose to stay with somebody because you love them, if you do whatever you do, if you don't have nobody who can stay with you through that, they not your friend. Period. And even now I'm getting so free because I didn't even want to do no show, and I worried about what females that I went to college with think about me now because of decisions I made in college. I was like, I would never touch on that subject, but I will touch on that subject because guess what? None of them was perfect, and they chose to. I'm not gonna be your friend because of what she X, Y, and Z. None of them was perfect, and I look at that still and now as a blessing because you're not really a friend. And I was blessed to have 5 sisters to ride with me till the wheels fall off. Period. And my friends, I love them to pieces that I have now because they ride with me till the wheels fall off. And that's what you need. I didn't mean to go that far left, but I feel like I need to say that because don't ever feel like because of the past mistake that you made or what people have judged or said about you that you cannot excel or grow from it because you can. Because I am. And I have God and my family and my friends to keep me, so to show me like, it don't matter what your past, everybody perfect. Y'all want to try to live perfect? Show me somebody who's perfect, who ain't never did nothing.
Where's one? There's no one.
Period. Mm-hmm. Stop being afraid to live your life to excel. Worried about what people gonna think about you. Worry about what the people in your past don't say about you. Worry about what they gonna gossip about. Oh, she doing this. That was the main thing on my mind. I'm trying to do this for women. Women can do this. Women can do that. I said, I bet you if they ever to see my shows or see me pushing to do this, they might think like, oh, like, man, she was like this in college, or she did that. And that was hindering me for even want to address this conversation or have this conversation online. But guess what? I'm free. I can care less.
That's right.
I can care less. I'm in the best place of my life. And I say this to my siblings, y'all don't need to be upset, be emotional, because I strongly believe God allowed me to go through everything I went through in life. Even when I chose to make decisions to go through what I went through in life to make me who I am today, to be able to help some other woman out there. And I will not regret it ever. I don't regret anything in my life that I've done or decisions that I made because it's made me the woman I am today. So.
Boom. Well, I mean, you're supposed to be honest. Gotta be honest. I mean, this is what you're here for. This is your path. This is what you're here for. You know what I'm saying? So we can't be real. I mean, I would say don't. You know, one thing that's my pet peeve is everybody trying to have stuff, but you can't have nothing from God. So you might as well just be open. Just be open. I don't care. I don't care. Just be open. Don't let it out because you just have somebody out there. You ain't know it. Just have somebody out there.
Let's go. Let's keep.
You know what I'm saying? So next question.
Let's move on to the last question. I think that so we're gonna do closing. We're gonna do closing things. So basically, the topic this week was the side effects of abuse. There are many different side effects. You either choose to continue the cycle and do it to somebody else. You either outside of doing that as well, you live with scars. Scars on your skin may fade, but internal scars are created unless you choose to let go of it and get free. And I forgave that person. That person's not even in my life. So.
And this is what I say. People always have to, you want to, what you put out comes back. You know, and I'm a big believer in that. You know, what you put out comes back. You put out negativity, you pin on people, or you putting people down. Whatever you putting out there, that negativity comes back. You might not see it right away, but it comes back. It's a big circle. So, be careful with how you treat people, and stuff like that.
You have to. That's real.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Well, I feel like that person, like, man, well, I feel so much better. Hey, Corley, Matt, Corley on here. He's a checking in, guys.
Hey, Corley.
Anybody else got a closing remark? Side effects of abuse? No. Yes, that's me to go. Well, you got a closing remark?
I just want to say I really enjoyed being on the show today. I really enjoyed being you guys.
Matt, you got a closing remark?
I know you guys are. She did put a damper on their mood, and I already knew a little bit about it. So I guess why it wasn't really a surprise to me. Yes, I did. Yeah, you had talked to me before. But I just want to say, everybody, just keep going. You know, just be aware of like what you pick out, who you deal with. You know, sometimes you can't see a monster coming, and they be right there. You know, so I just say, hope everybody be covered, and just learn by your mistakes. You go through life, you're gonna learn, you're gonna grow. It's a process. We probably all grown watching this, but we still growing, and it's still a process in our life. Like when you let people in. So that's it. I guess no one's has anything else to say because they're quiet now.
Yes, you did. No. Well, we don't end this on this note. No, we're not having a discussion table next week. So I think that's Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl next week. So we're going to skip a week, come back with another topic, of course, for the second weekend in February. Also, just to remind you, I have my wonderful event that I'm excited about called Shades of Relationship. That's actually an event in Saturday, March 24th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We are giving out date night giveaways, swag bag, T-shirts. We're having a photo booth. You can come in and hear the awesome Sarah Jones, who's her and her husband specializes in dealing with relationships. She is going to be our keynote speaker. We also have all-male panel, 3 guys who's covering different from dating to being in a relationship to being married. So, ladies, if you have any questions, please come to this event with these questions. They are going to kick it real to you. If you ever seen Kevin Binion on one of my shows called Prepare for Marriage, you know he keeps it 100 at all times. Also, the tickets are available on eventbrite.com. Don't forget to check out my website, BeHIPnow.com, and join our mailing list. We have more events coming up besides that one, so if you can't make this one, we have more to come. You can follow me on social media at Heels in Pursuit on Instagram, where I do daily encouragements and words to people to just inspire you daily to get you through your week. Sometimes I do bring it over to my Heels in Pursuit business page on Facebook, but not all the time I'm able to do that. Yeah, so I think that's it. Oh, and also, if you're interested in being a vendor at my event at Shades of Relationship, the cost is $25 for a table and 2 chairs. You can sign up. And also, if you're interested in being a sponsor, we have sponsor packages as well built up on my website, BeHIPnow.com. So please get on with your tickets. Men, if you have sisters, girlfriends, wives, fiancés, cousins, that's a good, just surprise them with a ticket for them, because you guys can't come. Sorry, it's for ladies. But thanks again for tuning in for another week. If you ever have comments, conversations, questions, you can always direct message me or message me on my website. You can also follow Randy. He has his own webcast on Fridays at 9. 9 for Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson every Friday. And then Nicole is on Facebook at Nicole Edwards. You can join her, be a friend if you think that she was funny. I hope you guys have a blessed, and awesome night. And we will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. My niece is